Hi guys, this is Mike and today we're going to have a look at this, which is Sony's latest PlayStation Vita. As you probably know, Sony advertises this as a hardcore mobile gaming device, and basically this is what it is. This is a device that you're going to use for extreme gaming when on the road. It's actually very good, but more details about it will be available in the video review that's gonna start in just a second. Alright, so this is the PS Vita or the PlayStation Vita. We have here the Wi-Fi only version, which is gonna come in shops for $250 that's how it looks. You can see that it's fairly solid build and it's not very heavy, measured like 18-19 millimeters in thickness, and overall feels alright to use. Of course, it's not really pocketable because it has this big screen. It's actually a 5-inch AMOLED display, and the device gets powered quite easily. Right now it's in standby. You have to press the PS button over here and then peel off the screen, and this is how the interface is going to look. You can see that it's kind of an interface, a native interface for Sony devices. It's not like what you get on other devices these days, but it's similar. It's touch. It's meant to be used with your fingers, so it's touch optimized. And you have here a bunch of different applications. These are the home screens, and if you're running several applications right now, you can see that you can easily sweep between them like this. You also, by double pressing the PlayStation home button, you get this particular view, which is like a multitasking view, and you can easily select the application you want from here. For instance, a game, and just press continue or stuff like this. But before actually going into details about the interface, we should have a quick look at the exterior. So let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so on the front you will notice these two analog sticks. So this is basically what PSP users wanted from the next generation mobile gaming console like this one. It has two analog gaming sticks like the usual PlayStation or Xbox controller has. You also have the action keys over here. You have the D-pad. On top you have the shoulder buttons made from this transparent plastic. And on the front you have the 5-inch screen. It's an AMOLED display, and of course it's touch enabled. You can use it for all kinds of gestures and controls. And on the back you have another trackpad. It's something like a trackpad, and you can use this in various games and in various applications. And it's actually quite nice. You also have these rubber ovals over here that should help you with the grip, and you have a camera. It's a 5-megapixel camera on the back and another camera here on the front. Inside you have quite powerful hardware. It's a quad-core platform with very good graphics as well, and this is actually the best you can find on mobile gaming devices right now. So hardware wise and construction wise, this device is actually excellent build. We should also have a quick look on the top, and you have here the power button. You have this slot where the games actually go in. You know that the games right now come on this Sony proprietary cards. They're just as big as standard SD cards, but they're not SD cards, they're different. You also have the volume rocker over here, and there's this other connector which should be used for some future expansions. Right now there are no details on this connector, but we should find more about it in the near future. Since this is the Wi-Fi only version, you don't have the 3G slot, which I believe it's over here. So if you have the 3G enabled model, it has a 3G slot over here or in this other part, I'm not really sure. You also have the speakers. There are stereo speakers here and here. You have the select and the start buttons right here, very small. The PlayStation button over here, and on the bottom you have the charging dock and you also have the headset plus this. Okay, let me see if I can open this. The device doesn't come with internal storage, and storage is made possible via cards like this one, which are Sony's PS Vita proprietary cards. And because they're proprietary, they're also quite expensive. The cheapest one, it's this one, the 4GB version. It comes for 29 bucks, while the most expensive one, I believe, is the one that goes for 32GB, and that's 100 bucks. And you'll have to buy one of these when you're buying the console, because there is no card included. So on top of the $249 you're going to pay for the cheapest one, you also have to buy at least this small card. But 4GB of storage is not going to be enough, because most of the games are actually quite big. Okay. So it seems like the card is not swappable. So the PS Vita will restart now. I thought it was a hot swap card, but it seems like it's not. So, like I said, you should buy at least a 8 or maybe a 16GB card to have proper space for your content. And speaking of content, let's go ahead and see what you get on this one. So basically this is a device meant for gamers. So you have a lot of games. I have a couple of them installed over here. I'm going to show them in a couple of seconds, but first you will buy all this content from here. And this is the PS Store, the PlayStation Store. It looks like this, and you will be able to find here all kind of titles that are working on this console. Let's wait for it to load. It is a bit slow. At least anything that has to do with the wireless or the data connectivity, it's kind of slow on this machine, and it's slow over here, as you can see as well. Okay. Okay, so what we have here, we have PS Vita games, add-ons, demos, you have these special offers, you have PSP ported games, you have minis, you also have trailers and social applications. But what we're interested in are these PS Vita games. There aren't that many titles right now, but there are a bunch of them. You can see that prices go from, I believe the cheapest are about £5, and the most expensive one go to £35. So games like, I don't know, Dungeon Hunter Alliance is £29, FIFA it's £44, which is the FIFA 2012. More games will be available in the next couple of months. PlayStation and actually Sony says they will have up to 100 titles specially designed for the Vita by the end of the year, which is actually quite okay. So this is how you can buy things. For instance, you go select one of the games. One thing I don't like about this interface is that you don't have any trailers and you don't have any pictures of the game. Okay, please load. Like I said, it takes a bit of time to load, so all you can do now is buy. You have the ratings and you have some pictures, but actually small pictures. There's no way to see this the higher resolution. You have a small description here and the option to buy it, and you buy it, and then the content gets downloaded. That's one way to buy it. You can also buy it in physical stores. You buy those cards, like I said, the ones that get inserted over here. So you can download the content and store them on the card, or buy on the small card that gets here inserted, or buy content that gets on its own card, and you insert this over here on top. Okay, so that was the PSP store. You also have here a bunch of applications. This is the welcome park. For instance, it's gonna show you how this device works, gonna show you the features, will show you what you can do with touchscreen, with the D-pads, with the analog sticks and all this kind of stuff. You will see this later. You also have these near friends and party applications. They should help you, get social with your friends that are also having a PS Vita. For instance, with the near, you can leave certain tokens or certain prizes on given locations, and whenever a friend of yours gets there, it will get a notification that, hey, your friend left you something here, you can use it, and you can get like an avatar or some kind of bonus item in a game or stuff like this. You also have the photos here, and like I said, this one has dual cameras, but the cameras are not really that good. They're basically used to interact with all these types of games developed for the Vita. There are some cards. You put them you put those cards on your table, and with the camera, you're going to focus the camera on your card, and it will perform certain actions. Unfortunately, I don't have the cards to show you right now, but maybe in a next clip. You also have the browser here. So this is the browser, and I'm gonna show you that it's actually quite slow. I'm gonna select one of these sites here. It's gonna take a while for it to load, and my Wi-Fi connection is actually quite good. And you saw that it takes a bit of time to load. This is the local PlayStation site over here. And if you were to run, I don't know, my site, which is netbooklive.com. Okay. Actually, there was, it's net, okay, like this. Let's see. Takes a bit of time to load. And of course the browser doesn't support Flash, so you can't really play content from these posts, like embedded clips. There is no YouTube application, at least for the moment, but it's probably Sony says they will have an application for this in the near future. What you also have here are all these Twitter and Facebook applications. More social applications will be available as well. You also have music, and it's quite easy to use. You have music, and you can play music in the background. Have a bunch of artists here. That's the way it's gonna look. You can see that the speakers are actually decently loud. And you can then go ahead and play something, do something else while listening to the music. You also have videos. Unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to work with all types of videos I've tested. Only seems to be working with MP4 files and up to 720p in resolution. This is a trailer. You can see that it's looking quite okay, and the screen is actually very sharp. Viewing angles are quite good, and you will be able to use this outside as well. Let me adjust this. Okay, so this is a trailer I've downloaded. Like I said, the problem is that you can't really play all the types of content you might want. You have to go ahead and convert all these videos before actually using them here on the PS Vita. Okay, what else? Well, you also have the maps. It's integrated with Google Maps. Have the settings over here, and finally we got to play some games. I don't have that many titles, but I have this one, Wipeout 2048, which is quite an interesting game here. The problem with games, I think they're very well built, they have excellent graphics, and they're very complex, at least most of them. However, it takes a bit of time for them to load, which is quite poor, and you will be able to see this in this particular title. I launch it, and it takes a lot of time before I can actually play the game. Okay, you can see that the game is quite complex. I have a lot of stages. Basically, it's a game where you have a couple of different types of ships, and you get to race against different opponents. And you have different types of ships. For instance, fighters. You have speed. You have agility. You have prototypes, and all these other types of ships. And let's go ahead and select, I don't know, one of this. And let me show you one of the races. Like I said, you notice that it takes a lot of time to load a particular race, like a minute or something, which is actually a lot for a device that should be pocketable and should launch games very, very fast. So now we're waiting for this to load. I didn't get the chance to try all the games in the PS Store. I've only tried a couple of them. I'm quite impressed with what you get. And this is actually the game that I've played the most. I mean, I found it quite good. And having 2 analog sticks is definitely very good here. You also have titles like Unit 13 that will work with this. Okay, so let's turn the sound a bit. And here's what you should do. You actually have to race against... Okay, that was not good. Against others, and you have all these kinds of features here. You can see that there are these pads, these arrow pads, and weapons pads as well. They're actually meant to help you. Over here, I'm actually quite good at the game, but I can't really play well from this position, so I just hit one of those other fighters over here. So the speed pads actually give you a speed boost. You also have the weapons, offensive and defensive weapons, and you have all kinds of missions. So the game is quite complex, and you can see that the graphics are very, very good as well. And you really got to play this for a good amount of time. I mean, I've been playing it for a couple of days, and there's still a lot of levels for me to try on. Okay, so that's Wipeout 2048. Like I said, there are all these kinds of titles. You also have all these kinds of missions. You also have missions that are requiring you to shoot others or to collect different bonuses and stuff like this. So it's not just about the race. You also have time-lapse and all these other kinds of special missions. So the game is quite good. But more about this in a future post that will only speak about Wipeout 2048. What we also have here is this one. It's Asphalt injections, but this is a demo. So I'm gonna try and show you how you can do this. For that, you have to close Wipeout 2048. I'm gonna show you the graphics in this game. This is a game with these cars. It looks like Need for Speed or something like this that you get on your PC, and it's actually quite good as well. But like I said, it's only the demo. Waiting for it to load. Okay, so we have the free race. You can see that the graphics and the games are very well built here. So starting the race. And then I'm also going to show you one final title that I got here. Like I said, if you want to have more games on the device, you will have to buy a bigger storage card. Only have a 4 GB of 4 GB card. Can only have all these 3 titles right now. If I wanted to have more, I'll have to uninstall these ones and get those ones. Okay, so I've just hit this other car. You can see that the graphics are actually quite good. I'm using my nose here. That was close. So I'm gaining on my opponents. Okay, but I've wrecked the car again. So this is one other title we're having here. And one more thing, we have Dungeon Hunter Alliance, which is like an RPG. I'm basically a very big fan of games like this one. It's quite complex, but once again, it's only a demo. I should also show you FIFA, which I've played on this one, but once again, it's the demo for that one, which I really enjoy. But you also have those other titles that were initially launched for the tablet. You have Uncharted and a bunch of other complex games as well. Okay, so let's wait for Dungeon Hunter to load. Once again, it takes a bit of time to actually load the game, but once it does, you see that it's very complex. Basically, you won't find such complex games on other platforms, other mobile platforms like smartphones or tablets. But on the other hand, games are not that expensive on those as well. So I'm playing with this character I've already made. It's a warrior. Once again, it's loading, and once it's going to load, we should be able to play it. Okay, so this is me. I have my character here, and you can see that I'm having all this kind of adversaries here. I have special skills. I can change between weapons. For instance, this is how I can upgrade my hero. I have inventory, I have skills, I have a fairy, I have quests here, so it's quite complex. And you can see that the graphics are very good as well. I mean, you can't really find anything like this on the iPad, for instance. So you can see that you have all the special skills, and of course you can select between different types of characters. This is, like I said, this is a warrior. But you also have others, so not just warriors. You can select between a mage and some other types of warriors, of characters as well. Sorry, I'm trying to not to get killed here. Okay, so that was Dungeon Hunter for the PS Vita. Okay, so basically these are just some of the games you can play on this one. Like I said, like I showed you, there are some others. You can also remote play from your PSP for your PS3, which is quite good. Now there are some other questions some might have. For instance, if you have a PSP with a lot of titles, can you play them on the PS Vita? The answer is no. No, you can't. You probably have to buy those again. I should also tell you a couple of things about the battery life. Now, with this device, I got like between 4 to 6 hours of life for daily use. If I'm playing a complex game like Wipeout, you get about 4 hours of continuous play. But if you're at home, you can play while having this connected to a power plug, and that then you're going to have indefinite playing time. But if you're on the road, you should expect about 4 to 6 hours of life based on the games you're actually playing on the computer. Okay, so basically those are all the things I wanted to tell you about the PS Vita. Look for the conclusions in the next part of this clip. Alright, so you saw that there are plenty of things to like about the PlayStation Vita. I for one really dig the form factor, really dig the hardware. It's very powerful and it's excellent built. You have the dual analog sticks here. You have plenty of buttons, the D-pad, the action buttons and the shoulder buttons. You have a touch screen, a 5-inch OLED touch screen, and a trackpad on the back. And all these make the device a very powerful and potent mobile gaming platform. But the problem is, well, are you really going to play all these kind of games? If you're willing to play this complex games and you have the time for it, and if you're willing to pay for them because they're not cheap, they're like 30 to 50 bucks for the important titles, then this might be worth it. Otherwise, if you're just looking for a device for some light gaming when commuting or traveling, you're probably going to be better with a smartphone or a tablet, at least financially wise. So that's my input on the Sony PlayStation Vita. It's really a device I dig a lot. It's very well built and the games are excellent, but I don't really feel this is something I for one as a casual gamer would buy. Hardcore gamers, yeah, this is a device for you. Otherwise, not really so sure. Okay, so that was it for now. That was the PlayStation Vita from Sony. The hardcore gaming, mobile gaming platform they just recently launched. That was the video review, and don't forget, if you like this clip, you should press thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, that was Mike.